letting them die and just like leaving them there. So my brother was just walking. He said he woke up one morning that God told him he was going to kill him. He said they. He said they're coming to kill me, and he had to get away from his mom, or else they were going to kill her. Then he calmed down, and he was going to walk home because he was like, I don't feel like I'm going to die anymore. I feel really good. I'm going to go home and make music. And then at the hospital steps, he fell and hit his head on the main street, and he nobody helped him. They just drove by. They left him. His head was down. So they just assumed because his hood was up this winter, he was lucky. So they drove by him. Nobody helped him. His mom found him, and he froze to death. Um,
That's horrible.
yeah, which is tough. But that night, so every issue I'd ever had with him, like there were things with like competition, and he felt like he was being like an energy vampire on purpose. Like he would sort of take things from me and like try to dominate me when I was in like my most vulnerable point.
Uh,
And he would talk like that. He had like gone down that road, like the bad road of spirituality, where you feel like there's things more than you, but you're playing a game
right.
with it. Um, which like a lot of police I know are the same. Like they use their power for spiritual stuff, like Masons that are on the police force and stuff like
Right.
that. So he just went down that road where I felt like he had taken things from me and destroyed our relationship, and I had lost a lot of myself because I
Right.
had accidentally given it to him. And then that night, it was like on a Monday night. He died on Monday morning. Monday night, it felt like a rubber band had like snapped back or something like a slingshot, and everything I felt like I had lost, I became again, like where I was myself again. And the first thing I wanted to do was get back up and start saving people.
Mhm.
And then somebody posted immediately, some random guy that was a creep to him, like a pedophile type guy, narcissist, full like creep, lost in his own delusion. Because he was like a gifted artist and he was young, great like local celebrity status stuff. Like people loved his music. It was a gift, and
Right.
they were trying to take credit for it. There was just some guy on Facebook talking about how bad his death was and how heartbroken he was because of his music and
Right.
posting his music so that people would go to his page and like his page. He was self-promoting from my brother's death,
Mhm.
and his name was John, and my brother's name was John Michael. Um, so I found out that way, and I had to get him to stop, and that's how I found out with his mom. But when I went to his funeral, everyone I spoke to Monday night had some huge blessing, like parents that they didn't know where their kids were that were strung out on something or ran away from home a long time ago. A couple of them got reunited with their kids. Like money came to people. It was like as he left, a lot of people, their lives were fixed immediately. Like a lot of the problems they had when he left, it was like I felt like he was in the room with me and he was like saying goodbye. And I saw him for the next couple weeks. I had dreams where I had to tell him that he was dead. Like he was wandering around
Oh.
through like different dimensions and hopping people's dreams, and I was just sitting with his family in a dream, and he came in and I hugged him and I showed him that his obituary and his headphones that he didn't have. He checked his headphones because he always wore headphones. So I was like, I have this and your obituary, and he's like, I'm dead. And then he got scared, and I woke up. So
My
I,
mother came in.
yeah,
My mom came to me when she died when she was 52 of breast cancer. I was 24, and she came to me when she died. Oh, and then this year, of course, I cut my leg with a my husband's chef knife, and it's carbon steel.
mhm,
Like I was reaching down, and my leg kept itching, and I was washing dishes, and I had his knife in my hand to wash. Somehow it slipped, went all the way to the bone. I had to have the ambulance come and get me. I was out of work for like 3 weeks with this, and trying to I'm I'm contacting a couple lawyers. The first lawyer didn't want to really help me out, but Gifford really messed up my leg.
mhm,
And so I'm working with another lawyer, and then I got another one I'm going to talk to. But it's like, and that happened, and I'm like, and it was a freak thing. And okay, what's the universe telling me? Well, first of all, don't play with knives, but
yeah,
but yeah, I totally get, you
yeah.
know, but you woke up and
Oh, you saw her when you were in the hospital.
she was at home when she died, and
Yeah.
my husband and I were staying over. My dad was asleep in the living room where she was because they had a bed set up for hospice, you know. We were asleep in my mom and dad's bed.
Mhm.
She came to me while I was sleeping because she died at like 2 or 3 in the morning
Mhm.
and told me that she was leaving
Okay.
and she was going, and it was right when she passed. Like I can still remember because I was sleeping on her side of the bed where she slept,
Okay.
and
For
yeah,
I got you. For the aliens that you see, do you ever see ones that look like people and have people skin, but their eyes are wider and they seem really happy?
no, this one was
Okay.
very very.
You saw like something dark and fear based. The
Yes, remember it's
the Harry Potter Dementors.
the hands, fingers being very long and pointy,
Yep.
and it was like on top of me because it had its like I couldn't get at like it almost like had its
Yeah.
arms right up here, like so half my like my torso body or torso part, my body, and then the on top, and
And you're a Cancer, right?
I am,
That's where your energy centers are.
yeah,
So for me, it's the legs where they target my legs, like leg man. Uh, for like Leos, it's that gets their heart. That's just where you're most expressive.
yeah,
So in order to hinder you and try to push back, they would push there.
yeah.
But I get things that are like on my legs and like my root.
What about your dad? Is a Leo?
My dad's a Leo. Well, that goes into like what you're, how I think that some type of matrix comes at your natural abilities, whether it's to make you stronger, like you chose it to happen, or um, because that's just where you're strongest and something hates that. Like
Right.
they say the devil is angry at you, so it sends
Mm-hmm.
things. Um, my dad, he's a three life path, which is confident, charisma, childlike, and then 33 is like the divine child, this exponential more of the three.
Right.
So you're supposed to create something that affects everybody. This huge compassion. Threes are just a very simple, more childish version of that.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad being a Leo, Gary means a mighty spear jabbing. So he does. He is like he's a mean guy sometimes. But he's every time I saw my dad, he always had somebody. Like my dad was 70. He's like in his 70s now. The last time I saw him, he had like a 25-year-old girl that was in love with him, that was taking care of him in his like a caseworker.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell that his energy's nice, and she just like loved being there.
Yeah.
And he always had that. My uncle said my dad just had this gift with girls and people that they always just wanted to be around him. My dad's got. If you put him next to the statue of Brian Boru, they look identical, completely.
Who is that?
Brian Boru is the guy. He's the last High King of Ireland. He was, he was the guy. He was homeless at 14. His family was killed by Vikings. He fought from 14 to 73 around Ireland, just gathering as many people as he could. People rejected him. They beat him. They tortured him. Slavery was big with the different tribes, but eventually he got the kids of the people that beat him and rejected him and ostracized him. He got their kids to just gather together. He got 5,000 people and just went from the top of Ireland all the way down to the bottom and kicked out all the Vikings at the Battle of Clontarf, where 5,000 people went up against 7,000, and I think only 1,000 made it on each side. And Brian Boru died in battle at 73. He was with a hammer trying to kill people, so of course he died.
So your dad looks like him.
They look like him, and we're O'Brien. So
Yeah. So you are Irish.
yeah. And the thing is that we have like this gold ring around our iris. My mom has Rh negative blood. That sort of that like when you see conspiracy theories about elitists, they have this certain blood type that my family has, and it's just blood is like what houses your emotions and your genetic code. So having this specific blood type means that you exist differently in the world to
Right.
people, and it's just based off genetics, and that's why they would wipe out
Yeah.
stuff. They would wipe out people with that like elitist, centrist, racist thing to like control evolution. But that like lion presence is heavy. My dad's got a big flowy beard and long hair. So when he blows up, so my dad, I think the thing that targeted him is because he was really intelligent, but at a young age he had like girls that would break his heart, have kids with other people, and then he would have to fight the guys because he would go there and fight them because he wanted the girl,
Right.
and he would fight for the girls he liked. And he had a same way I had some type of brain stuff. He fell off of a roof and got brain damage, so that sort of hindered our ability to function. And with him, whereas I'm trying to do the most perfect thing, get up and go do something, he's really just fighting to embody he can care about everybody, like the Leo. He really does all he. A good example is my dad at the very end. So I saw him like 2018, 2019. He became a ski instructor. So he let 17 to the end of his career, he just did skiing. He moved to Hawaii for like a decade and had a kid. But other than that, he was on the mountain. He moved to one mountain and he stayed on that mountain for his whole life. He got to demo all the trails, all the rich people. He taught their kids how to ski. So we had
Oh,
a lot
wow.
of really wealthy people. So my dad never was the king,
Right.
but he always was in this wealthy environment and he didn't really have to.
Do you look like your dad?
I look, no, my mom's got the more nose. I have the chin and the jaw. Now that my hair is long, I look like him. I have the O'Brien forehead, but and I have the eyes a little bit of slant. My mom is Romanian indigenous, but I look a little bit like both.
Yeah.
I think I definitely, because I grew up isolated with him, like just alone on the mountain. I think I picked up a lot of his energy, like he's a Leo.
Yeah.
So he was just always radiating, and I picked up a lot of what he learned. So I was like an old man at a young age. It helped a lot.
Yeah.
But my dad has this thing where, let's say that our genetics were all war chiefs, Irish kings, badass warriors that made their way with their mind. Like my grandfather was in World War II and he trained dogs. My dad trained kids how to ski. My uncle trains dogs. My grandfather trained cops in Bronx. So there was this thing where we had to use our mind, but we have all this trauma that keeps us from getting out there and doing it. And I think the way that the Leo targeted him is because the people that he would always care about, like he felt like he had to govern over. He's born on the
Right.
10th, which is like the king,
Okay.
and then the 11 is a master number that deals with way past that. Like you can see like Kanye and Jay Z, the K and the J, Kendrick and J Cole, Casey and John Michael, my brother. Those like the energies of the 10 and the 11 go together because the kings deal with this exponential huge thing, but then the J's can oversee everything. So he's got that 10 and the 3, and I'm an 1133, which is cool. 1133, 10, 3. And then he's a Leo Libra, which is like that heart centered, balanced fire air, and I'm the Sagittarius Aquarius, which is like the huge exponential. You can't just sit around.
Yeah.
But so he was like a stagnant force for everybody, which is cool that he roamed around his mountain, which I call us like the mountain lions.
Right.
But the O'Brien symbol, the lions, I think the Leo comes out because he explodes because he thinks that the people that he loves don't care about him. And it was true, like my mom would gaslight and be afraid of him and kind of separate. All his friends sort of felt bad for him because his brain didn't work the way, even though he's really smart. It was just like the things that we feel like we're meant to do, it just, our wires got crossed from trauma.
Yeah.
So he blows up and he's like a rampaging lion. Like he broke everything in the house. I've definitely seen him throw a knife across a room and stick it into a wall. But he would just like go on a rampage and break things because he felt that we didn't love him.
Yeah.
So I think that's
That anger came out.
and then
Yeah.
I blow up in rampage because I feel like I'm trapped and I can't adventure. I can't get up and go do
Exactly.
things. I don't want to work a job. I don't want to be stuck somewhere.
Right.
And
Right.
that's
No,
what-
totally.
Yeah.
I'm English and part Cherokee. So
For you, it would be you experience things. Water, when it's like raining and everything seems brighter. When you put water to color, it makes things much more vivid. So for you, it's probably like the emotions that are going around and the things that you're thinking are bigger and more colorful and vivid that can get really overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that because you're at that grounded low center, it means that you care about people probably a lot deeper than people understand.
yeah.
It probably, like a lot of your childhood was probably crying because there's something about somebody else that you can't fix or you're trying to help. So a lot of the way that you would be targeted is by being put in situations where there are people suffering and there's just something, the way you're trying to care about them doesn't work, which would cause you to try to move and grow and learn how to care to like enhance your skills at doing it so
Yeah.
that the next time around and you're in that position again, you've already learned and you can actually do it.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like I just go on these long journeys over and over until I learn how to be calm in these chaotic places.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm supposed to do. Your moon sign is that Cancer is just when you're talking to people, when you're
Yeah.
interacting with the
Right,
world.
right. The social part of it.
The moon is just when you're alone by yourself, how you process emotions. So my moon is Aquarius, which if you can't tell, it means that people would think I'm autistic because everything that's going
I
on.
have
Yeah,
2 Aquarius kids.
yeah. Aquarius.
My oldest and my youngest.
Aquarius suns are cool because when you talk to them, it's like they are this little detached ball
And
in
they
nothing.
are.
Yeah, which helps them really like process things. It makes them really. They could come off as condescending a little bit. Yeah, yeah, like
for sure.
know-it-alls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
they definitely. But it's just because that space where it feels like they're a know-it-all is just where they live.
Yeah.
So they might not have the perfect thing to say, but the emotion that they're expressing is coming across
Right.
that way.
That's probably why they butt heads.
Yeah, 100%.
9 years difference between them.
Do they get like a lot of gaslighting too, like taking control of the narrative?
My son. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
Yes, and that comes from my husband's. I mean, I'm not gonna say my husband's side, but my husband, he can be a big gaslighter,
Mhm.
and he doesn't even realize what it is. He's even asked, "What is gaslighting?" I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Mhm.
And it's like I think you need to like look into like how sometimes what things you say,
Mhm.
or uh, making it about you.
Mhm.
Because my son can be very narcissistic, and he's
Yeah.
Aquarius. And then
It's just because they are literally detached. It's not really that they're self-centered. It's that they are in that space where there's
Right.
nothing around them, and that helps them to process things that other people wouldn't because they get caught up in all the drama. They are literally like their existence pushes everything away. They're like
Yeah.
this big ball of sphere. I like Aquariuses because when Aquariuses do love you, it does add this huge
Oh,
protection.
they're very
Yeah,
big. Yeah.
it has this protection almost like you walk through life and nothing can phase you because you're in their narrative now. Their narrative is extended.
But
And
if they don't like you, they don't like you.
when they don't like
Hands
you, it
down.
becomes like everything attacks you because
Yeah.
they like it becomes instead of a projector, they're like a vacuum.
Yeah. And my other ones are Aries, and I have an Aries and a
Yeah.
Gemini.
That's the next thing I was going to bring up. It's an Aquarius Aries moon. That was the while you were talking, I saw my friend who's an Aquarius Aries to talk about the Aries energy.
Yeah.
That's just there's something bigger than ourselves in this conversation.
Yeah.
And I think
And my daughter,
Yeah.
she's 34. She's engaged to a guy in Spain, and he's Indian.
Mhm.
Um, so that's pretty cool. I mean, that's
Mhm.
kind of just off the wall, but she's my Aries.
Mhm.
Because you were talking about different religions and
Yeah.
all that other stuff, but yeah,
Is he into astrology?
I don't know. I've never met him yet. They're trying to get papers so he can come over, but the way things are going right now with
And
Trump and immigration
she's
all
not.
that.
He's not using it for anything.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no, absolutely not. Nope. They met. She went to Spain on a trip by herself. She went to go. She went to Malaga, Spain, first of all, to meet up with this empowerment group thing that she's doing with this. All these other girls are like young girls who want to ladies or whatever. And then she went to that for 7 to 10 days, and then she was by herself in Spain for a while. Then she went to Portugal. She went to some other places, but she ended up meeting. They call him Judge. That's I don't know his Indian name, but he has really broken English. It's hard for them to. So, but they communicate very very well,
Mhm.
even though she doesn't know his language. So they kind of like they connect, and they almost look alike. And I mean, and it's like she has a gap between her front two
Yeah.
teeth, and he does too. And it's just kind of like they've made this really weird connection. I mean, because it would be like, I mean, like meeting somebody that doesn't speak your language and trying to have a conversation. It's like, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what my moon is.
I can find it out. I'll definitely send you it
Yeah, send me the stuff.
because Bazi's cool. The other thing, definitely, I think that like their song, if they die, their song is over, and they're just in the audience. And I think that also they're doing things out there
Hmm.
that this is just like a very small part of their life, and
Yeah.
that there's so much more going
Oh,
on.
there is so much more. Yeah.
I think I came here. I just I don't know what I came here for really.
You know what? I used to, when I was much younger, and I lived in Florida because I'm from Hollywood, Florida,
Hmm.
and I went to school down there up until eighth grade. I was very, very outgoing, and I was kind of a little bit outgoing when I got into high school. But we had moved from Florida to Tennessee, and it really sucked. I ended up quitting school early because of a lot of bullying because
Hmm.
I came from a Christian school and went to a public school,
Hmm.
and uh, what's my point? Oh, so what I was saying was, and I have a real hard time with like excluding myself from things, like
Yeah.
being a recluse. And it's like I was never like this. Like
Hmm.
life, or I don't know things around. It's just like me. I would rather just sometimes just rather just be alone.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I mean, or just stay in the house. Be
Yeah.
an introvert, and I was never
Yeah.
really truly that way. But as life goes on, it's like I don't know. I have a lot of it's hard to know who to trust. It's hard to know who you can talk
Yeah.
to that's not gonna blab the world. Oh, hey, this is what's
That's
going
cool.
on with me, or you, or whatever. Yes, because
Do
yeah.
you can you recall what changed your trajectory to talking about social dynamics and you're talking about how you talking to other people?
What? Why I changed that?
Yeah, we were talking about like life paths, and then you went on to
Oh
being
no.
I was thinking there was I don't know who that girl is, but I saw a pretty girl, and I was like, man, I'll talk to her at some point. I'm not gonna talk to her right now.
Where was she?
She was just sitting with her dog, staring at us, and she like looked over at me, and then she was gonna walk, and then she walked away, and I was like,
Oh, was it a little dog or big dog?
big dog. I don't know if she was pretty. She's far away. I'm blind. I stare at the screen all day, but
Where was she sitting?
just over there, just literally directly a straight line in front of me. That happens a
Oh,
lot. So that changed my whole what's going through my brain to thinking about extrovert introvert, and you started talking about how you feel about that.
weird.
So you picked up on the change because I was worried I was derailing it, and
Oh, but see, this is the way my mind works. I can't. It's hard for me to stay on. I'm, I have a lot of ADHD.
well,
A lot.
you just picked up on the narrative in another dimension that I was focusing on, and you related to it.
See,
You could
and
feel it.
that's really
You kind of
weird
channeled it.
because
Whether I think cancer sort of take everything in too.
yeah. So like when I'm trying to talk to somebody, I can't just get to the point sometimes, or I want to get to the point, but then it'll totally go off into another space. Like here I am, and then oh, here I am over here, and then here I am over here, and I don't think a lot of that is as far as my speech and talking. I have a lot of self. You know, that's why I kind of keep myself enclosed because I've had such a rough life with certain things that I've just decided. At a time I just decided that I was just like, you know, I just gonna take care of I don't know my family and that's about it. You know. Oh, I thought somebody hit somebody. Uh, but
Okay.
yeah, it's like I try to
Oh,
stay on a certain path and it just goes this way.
you want to talk about aliens more?
Sorry.
The last one I had, I mean, the last big one. Sometimes I get to a point. It's usually around 11 days or full moons where I rest. It takes a long time for me to get through the trauma to get all the energy back, and I think that that's when I can activate that 11, which allows me to see into other places. Then it's like the veil is just completely lifted, and then things just it's like get right in my face, and I've seen tall grays, which are like really tall, dark, not like the Dementors, but just no emotion and this overarching authority. Like they seem angry, but I can't tell. They just seem mad, and then they're followed by. When I would see those, I usually have a panic attack, and I go to put on something I can watch on my phone. So I saw that I was trying. This time I was trying to listen to it, and I was trying to talk to it, and then a little gray, little one, talking about the angry, and then the purr, and the black, and then the guy stomping. It's just it changes the theme of the environment.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no, totally. I totally get that.
but it's just you just learn how to weather the storm and hold on to the positivity and just
Oh, yeah.
keep it going. Um,
And I think that's a lot true because it's like if if I have a lot of stuff going on around me, I can get very anxious
Mhm.
because there's one thing going on here, there's another thing going on here, here. So it's hard for me to just like center
to
myself.
focus on yourself, yeah.
And
Where attention goes, energy flows. You just keep it. You just give yourself the love you deserve, and then you learn how to be. You learn that self care as a discipline
Right.
keeps you, and then eventually I learned the boundaries. And it's just being. I'm out here every day, all the time. And I've been through a lot worse, so this is nothing. Um, and maybe it's just because it's just the time of the year. We're
Where are you
happy.
staying now?
I'm up in Randolph Center.
Okay.
I just walked into the woods and found a space nobody goes to,
Uh-huh.
and I set up. Out in the forest, one time I asked, "Hey, if there are woodland spirits, can I see one?" And then I woke up that night and I was locked. It was like sleep paralysis, but it was more like I could move, but my consciousness was in a bubble. And there was this little girl that was really happy to see me, but she had like greenish skin that looked like bark, and she had pointy ears. And she just like messed with me a little bit and then ran away laughing. And then I saw the big gray in that moment, and it said that that was called a fae, which is what the Irish would see all the time.
Right.
The fae, the fairy people. Then the little gray came in and attached to my phone, and it showed me that the grays are always, when I'm addicted to my phone scrolling, they were showing me that they're always there, watching what I'm doing and talking to me, and I don't realize that they're my thoughts.
Yeah.
Then I saw, it looked like a T Rex face. A giant T Rex
Oh,
face
man.
came out of the darkness and it tried to hit me, and it was mad. And then they said that's called a draconian, um, from like Alpha Dracon or something like a, another stage of reptilian. And then I saw real reptilians, which are like people, and
Yeah.
they're really hate. They don't like us. For some
Yeah.
reason, they just don't like us. I found out later that the Greys, I felt like they were angry because the reason we're happy in all of this is because of the way our genetics process things. We're able to feel happiness, but the Greys sort of were like us, but then they went too far with their own genetic breeding, and they messed themselves up. Like they fucked up their code and they destroyed themselves somehow. So they're outside of space and time, and they're coming in because the happiness that we emit, our life force, the Bible calls it our fruits, the
Mhm.
fruits of our endeavors. It's like the
Fruits of our spirit.
yeah,
Yeah.
the sum we come up with. They have a system that takes that and then they eat it and then they basically become it,
Right.
and it helps them on their own journey back to being normal people. In the other way where they split off, there are people that evolve the right way, and they're like the really good ones that are like they found out love. They don't live in cities. Have cities. It's just like another Earth where they did the right thing.
Right.
And those they call that the Asasani. And there's people that can channel those, and they talk. And I've met people that do it, and I can recognize how it feels. I've seen for the first time I saw them last week, where it just one shown into my mind, and I saw it just like floating there in front of me while I was awake, and it was just happy. It looked like me. It looked like if let's say, AI and technological revolution allows us to live forever, whatever we'd evolve into, that's what it looked like. Is me from the future, but at that point, time isn't real, so it's more like stepping just into another room, like a dream,
Yeah.
where you just like the dream seems linear, but then it's more like you're not really going places. You're just jumping into different
Right.
rooms. So it's just like another me was in another room in the future, and he came
Oh,
back.
that's crazy.
I saw that.
That's wild.
I've also seen in real life. I've asked to see an alien in 2022, and a praying mantis landed right here, and just stared at me for like an hour and a half, just sitting there staring at me.
Mhm.
And I didn't get it until I saw the movie Nope with Jordan Peele. And in that, it's like a western, but instead of a horse they're wrangling, they're trying to get a UFO on camera.
And what's it called?
Nope,
Nope.
by the guy that made Get Out.
Okay.
And in Nope, they're trying to get it on a security camera footage, and they get this UFO, which is actually like an animal, and it's not beaming people up; it's sucking them up to eat them. But when they're trying to thing, a little praying mantis gets in front of the camera and stares at the camera in the movie. Joe Rogan has gone on the podcast and looked scared and goes to the camera. He's like, "What if praying mantises are really aliens that are like 8 feet tall? Like, there's no way that we could shoot them with a tank.
Yeah.
And what if the little ones are just to see how we would treat them, and as like a soft introduction to something that we would feel really disgusted by,
Right.
stuff like that." But another time last year, it was a full moon in Gemini season last year. I was outside. I was looking outside the tent. This big vortex opened, like a wong 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 wong. I saw a person, but the person was covered in darkness. It wasn't like he was sad. It was more like he had been in the woods so long. He had like the dark woodland forest, like he had been there his whole life.
Right.
And then behind him, there was like a 10-foot tall praying mantis just walked out and was looking right at me. I was trying to speak to it in my mind, and it just like shut me down telepathically. But it was the way that I was trying to talk to it was like, "What are you?" And then it hit me back like, "That's not how you talk to me."
Right.
So it felt like a punch, but I don't think it was necessarily bad. The spirit told me basically it had lived in that forest and killed itself, and it was telling me to love my family and to spend more time with them because he didn't get to in his life. And the alien was just like letting that experience happen where it brought him out of the afterlife to talk to me.
Right.
Other cool stuff is like in McDonald's, the mantis supposedly help you with your creativity because they have this higher vivid level of emotion. So artists tend to have them assigned, and they help them make their art. So I used to sit in the McDonald's, and I felt like it was like an emotional war zone with everybody coming in, and I have to fight them off for my power because I felt like everybody was trying to take it from me. And I was fighting to create this song, and then I suddenly felt like there was this thing next to me that was helping me do that, like just an angel over my shoulder. I went to bed. I came back to McDonald's in the morning, and somebody it's still at McDonald's. You can find a little praying mantis sticker right there with the fire in its eyes, like fire is creativity. So the praying mantis is creating this fire, and there's just a little sticker right there that somebody put there.
Oh wow.
And
Crazy.
I don't know if that's like, maybe not all these people are real. Maybe that we're just like test subjects in an experiment. Maybe it's like half of all people are not really people, and they're just like
Right.
all connected to like a hive mind to help God said or in the Bible it said there's 144,000 of us that are real, and that they have the gift of being here unaware of what they are, so that they can have a real life experience in this. And everything else is just, they say demons and angels, they just translate to the word messengers. So like people that come up randomly and give me a bike, people that come up and tell me to write a book, people that come up and tell me to go over there, and then I go over there and I find a wallet that I lost, stuff like that. Or like birds all the time.
Oh yeah.
They say that those are just vessels as messengers from the other side,
Yeah.
just to guide us on our spiritual journey.
I totally agree with that.
It's when you get there, it's like how can you function? And it's just you keep turning at it, and you take care of yourself. And I'm at a level of functioning. I think I can get a job. It took a couple years to live so far out instead of trying to be in normal life. I think authenticity is really hard. You seem to have it down where you're being yourself. This is me like cutting myself off. Like I'm just kind of floating above myself, talking, disassociated.
Yeah.
Sort of like, it's almost like I'm an Aquarius moon in there's a stellium, so I have 4 planets in Aquarius.
Uh-huh.
Like the way my aggression is Aquarius, my Mars, my Neptune and Uranus are in Aquarius, and my moon. So a lot of me just lives in that really detached space. So I always thought that there was something wrong with me, that I was just weird, because I always felt like I was completely disassociated. But now I found out that I just live that's just where I'm supposed to be. And then your moon is where you are when you're alone. So it's not a coincidence that I find myself placed really far away, detached in the woods.
Yeah.
And then my name means O'Brien means exalted, which literally means placed away with this authority. And then all my Aquarius is in the 10th house, which is authority. So I just literally looking it up, I figured out that my Chinese astrology, my numerology, my astrology, my literal name, and everything that I go through, they're all exactly the same thing. And it's really rare to have it.
I detach myself and I dissociate. I mean, I was diagnosed with all that. But I think that's a lot to do with who I am. And, you know,
I think one.
I try to work on it. Sometimes it's harder. It's not normal for me to be sitting out here speaking with you. That's not something I would be doing. Normally, when I got home, I'd walk my dog, go inside, and stay in there till it's time to go to bed or whatever, and then do the same thing the next day. It's hard.
So, I mean, I see life as everything is the present moment, and your inside and outside are the same thing. So, what you're going to see in your daily life is the story that you're creating or co creating with God or whatever. The story that I had just left behind was rekindling with my ex to get back in a relationship.
Right.
I told her she admitted that she had, um, she's somebody, and I want your opinion on this as a girl. So I loved her. I've loved her for 10 years. She was like my perfect. I haven't found anyone I connect with the same.
Right.
But she would always. She's a Gemini, Gemini, Leo rising. Every
What's her
time
birthday?
her birthday, I think it's the 25th. I used to know it. I think I still know it, but it's been 3 years. I tried to like tune it out. 'Cause she has a kid now and other relationships. I try not to think about it. But I'm pretty sure it's the 25th or the 20th. It's that late.
In May.
Yeah, it's May, late
Yeah.
May. Taurus Gemini cusp, which is really cool. She's very grounded with the Geminis, but the problem is that I mean Geminis are supposed to be the socialite that always has people orbiting them, especially with the Leo rising. So the rising sign is your body, and like Mama Taurus rising. The rising sign is who you are, and the rest is just how you function. So she's a Leo rising, and every time I talk to her, she's got 5 or 6 people she's talking to on her phone. She's got 5 or 6 people. I would go into a room in high school, like a Sagittarius. I would walk in to a dark room. They'd be like, "Come have fun. Come on an adventure with me."
That's my daughter. That's my Gemini girl.
Yeah, and she would be sitting on a desk, and there's like four other guys that are trying to sleep with her, just sitting next to her, trying to impress her.
Oh yeah.
And she had all these people on her phone. I got her a job at Price Chopper, and there would be a line. Like none of the other registers had anybody. Like there was full man registers, but all the guys in town would be lining up that aisle to speak with her.
With her.
So it's a whole different life. I don't know how it is for me. I felt it was disrespectful to be invested in me and then to like leave and go off with somebody else and then come back and then go off with somebody else and then come back. And just to never be able to get them to stop talking to her on her phone. Like I get that attention's probably great and the dopamine highs and the validation.
Right.
And maybe she saw them as friends because of the Gemini, whatever. But that's just for me. I didn't mind because I'm like, I got her. But then a week after the relationship, she cheated. She went to the other guy's house and she slept with him. She said that she had the same demon sleep paralysis drain her, and she had a panic car afterwards. So she definitely felt bad about it. I don't think she did it again, but there were times after that I gave up. Like I fought to have her for years, and I finally got her, and then it crumbled. And then she wouldn't tell the truth. She would just lie to my face and hide it. And I'm like, I'm right next to you, and you're just gonna sit there. And how can you live with that? Like when I cheated on my girlfriend before her, and I had to like not see her. I couldn't be around her because I would feel like bad. And eventually, I told her. It's cool. The girl I'm talking about, her name is Chloe. So there's Chloe right there. And the last name is the last.
You said that, Chloe, my niece.
Yeah.
That's the one who.
Your Gemini is Chloe.
No, Chloe, the one who died of fentanyl back in April.
Okay, your Chloe died of an overdose. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a Chloe. like
You're good.
yeah.
It's just in the conversation I just had with her, I said that I'd never see any Chloe's,
Mhm.
and now that I opened that back up. Now there's Chloe's everywhere.
There's clothes everywhere.
So I was saying that how I see it's like completely based off the present moment. To get to you, I had to pass that young couple that was like PDA right next to you, and I was thinking about like that's what I'm literally moving past to get to here. On my Sagittarius adventure,
Right.
I moved through that, and now I'm here. Um, and the black, red, and green keeps coming up. So there's the red there, black here, black, red, and green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I notice it a lot. You see like the red and the black and the green right there.
Like you the red dress up there.
It's more like I'll see like a red car and then a gray car and then a white car and then I'll see another red, gray, white, red, gray, white.
Right.
Sometimes I've recorded videos on my phone of like 70 different cars just swirling around me, red, gray, and white, just in a circle,
Right.
and like a plaza. I guess the thing that's coming to me is to just try different things and see what you like.
Yeah.
And then I think every time you create something, you're a musician. So the songs you make will probably guide you towards what you need to be doing.
I get scared to try things.
Yeah.
I was never like that. But I think with everything I would have to go through and I've gone through, so like I said, I disassociate myself from. It's very unnerving sometimes to me because it's like, why do I do that? Why don't I go do this and this and this and this? And it's just like something just like pulls me back, and it's like, why is this happening? It's not fair.
I'd say that's anxiety. I'd say the same thing as like where you had the fear thing pushing against you.
I can feel it. It's like it's
Yeah.
really.
That's like an imprint. Here's look at this license plate when I'm talking about the ghost. The front of his license plate says Ghosty on it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. So, talking about how the ghost imprinted you to be afraid to go further out. So when you have things that like keep you compressed like this, that's affecting your inside too. Almost like the ability to imagine yourself pushing out gets hindered and like distorted because you have this trauma of people pushing you. Like me being in jail cells, like trauma and stuff like this, keeps me from feeling like I'm able to not have any threats around me. I always feel like I've got threats.
Right.
So, I mean, for guys that are cancers, I say to get a bench press, give a lot of hugs, you know, but just doing the opposite of what that thing did to you,
Right.
and then imagining it and just learning to breathe and learning how to sort of. There's another that license plate says Ghosty too. There's two ghosties. Let's see if that's the same one. 555. Yeah. So the ghostie came back. But yeah, like I solved my trauma with being trapped by just walking, doing the opposite of it. So if you feel like there's that resistance, you just be brave and do it. Kind of like jumping into the water, and then you learn to breathe it out, and it's okay. And then that opens yourself. Like the best way to stop a habit is to change it. It's not. Don't feel like you can't do something. It's that there's something that's hard, and then you replace it with something else, and then your brain just naturally.
Right.
It becomes easy.
Right.
Over time. I have social anxiety. I really just don't feel the need to go over there. I like the music. Like I used to. It's a big turn for me because I would sit here and I would feel like I had to go over there.
For me to just go over there,
Yeah.
I have this weird feeling like.
Like there might
About
be something.
so many different vibes.
Yeah.
It's
That's true.
feeling it like at ease and not accepted.
instead of the confidence to be there and enjoy that vivid symphony of things, you feel like it's stress or like something. There's like an
It
anxiety.
is. I don't know if I can go over there and just sit there by myself and enjoy it. If I guarantee you, I might, if I was lucky, I might know one person because I've worked in this town a few different places, a couple places, only like 2 places. Most places I've worked have been out, so so it's other people that I probably just see by an acquaintance, But I don't. There would never be anybody over there that I would be like, oh, okay. I don't know. Feel out of place. I just one of those things.
Yeah.
But
I fixed it with self-love, and
yeah,
I just put myself in it. Maybe if I started having conversations, it might start anxiety, but I think I found myself.
see, yeah, and I'm working on it. I mean, I've had problems with keeping jobs in the past
Yeah.
because, like I said, I take so much in, and it's not just people, it's everything that's going on around me. So it's just like I suck it in, and I yeah, I just can't. And it's hard for me to function sometimes on a daily basis. Okay, like I'm gonna go grab some food in a minute, and I'm like, I'll go do what I need to do, and I'll come home. And I know they're having all this. I don't know. Well, I have enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah.
I need to go use the restroom, and I need to go grab some food, though. I will message you all my information. I don't know if you want my birth and all that, but
Yeah.
just message me later.
The place,
I'll be at home.
the place you were born in, the town, the exact time you were born, and the date. And I should be able to get your Bosnia, astrology, and your numerology. And I'll put it in ChatGPT. I'll have it working. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it was like I know I was born on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Which that's weird too, because today's Saturday. I'm one of those.
Hey, your birthday's coming up.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I do a vertigo really bad. Like getting up really quick. Always have balance issues too. Like yeah, I know where my birth certificate is. I'll fill all that stuff out. Good talking to you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah, let's see you later.
I'll probably head back up. Self-care.
I don't ever talk about self-care, taking care of yourself. And I work with a whole bunch of like young kids, teenagers. So sometimes I have to put myself in displacement, trying to like feel accepted. It's a total different world to me. I worked at Dartmouth Coach for almost 2 years, and I worked on myself, and I worked with. I'm good with the public, but I think that's just.
I gotta learn it too. I've been out in the woods. I gotta learn it too. Being able to be yourself and also be in the chaotic environment and doing it.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
How early do you wake up in the morning?
How well do I wake up in the morning?
How early?
How early?
Yeah. Like before sunrise?
Oh.
Try waking up before sunrise helped me, like almost every part of my life got fixed. I go to bed at like 8. I wake up at like 3 or 4. I stay up and I think about what I'm going to do that day. I like listen to things that motivate me.
It
Like
doesn't help that I live like in a cave.
Yeah.
So that feels
That's true.
exhausting.
Being out being here is different than being in the woods. But just going out for me, waking up with the sunrise and going
See,
outside.
That's me too. It's like
Yeah.
I want to be able to do stuff like that. I want to be able to get out and enjoy the nature because
Yeah.
I think I will get more of a center on myself if I can do
I
that.
think in the future I'm going to be trying to get some, maybe not a hippie commune, but find like they call it eco villages.
Uh-huh.
There's a guy named Richard who used to be a hippie who's now a senator here
Uh-huh.
for the district. I talked to him a couple times. It's just finding grant money and finding the right place to put it. And I would definitely find good people that want to be
You're
outside.
in the right place for it. I mean,
I do like, this is the center of Vermont. I do like this strategically. I can get to 3 different cities in a half hour.
yeah.
And it's not too far from Burlington. It's the exact same distance from Burlington to my hometown, Brattleboro.
Right.
So I want a passport and I want to travel.
Yeah.
I want to leave.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for a stable place with good people that I know that my stuff is safe and that there's a safe place so that people that go through what I did, like my little brother wouldn't be dead because I could put him there.
Yeah.
Stuff
Well,
like,
this is a good area.
Yeah.
I do feel very comfortable. It's just like I've ever felt being in Vermont because I lived in Rochester and I lived in Woodstock. My daughter, who's a Gemini, she just had a baby. She graduated from Woodstock High School, but it's like that was not my place. Woodstock's not the worst to be in. But here, everything's pretty chill and very accepting.
do you know anyone that's selling land? Do you know anyone that's selling land? Do you know anybody that's selling land?
I don't, but I
Okay.
can keep an eye out. 'Cause
Okay.
I mean, my son and I, we know quite a few people too, so, but I'll find out. Oh, actually, but you're saying that, my husband just started this executive chef in Northfield in a new restaurant called The Stick.
Okay.
And the guy who owns the place that hired my husband is a real estate agent.
Okay.
Which is
I like,
weird.
I
don't
plan
know
on,
anyone.
I'm trying to go to Northfield next. I like to,
Northfield's nice.
I went there. I mean, no, people here bother me a lot. Now that seems like there's a lot more hippies, so having the long hair doesn't seem that bad.
No.
But last year there was a lot of drama. There was a lot of prejudice. A lot of people were like the barn lied. They called the cops and told them I threatened to kill them, and I didn't. I just went and got a water. But they wanted to have me maybe shot. Like they wanted the police to violently get me just because of how I looked. But then I went to like Morrisville. In Morrisville, the cops were lying, trying to get mental health to haul me away. They ripped me out of the tent, maced me, tried to break my wrist, and they lied.
Isn't that near Colchester, kind of sort of that up that
Morrisville,
way?
Morrisville. It's So instead of at Waterbury, you can go to Burlington, or you go north. You go north past Stowe. It's the next town past Stowe.
Yes, yeah.
So I went up there, and they just did not. There wasn't any place to go. There was a lot of outlets, but the cops would just beat on us, and they're just bad. So I do like it here. I just. Northfield, it's more water. There's just not. It seems like there's more things to do around here than Northfield because it's a college. Basically, if I could, let me know about talking to that guy, and then I'll have him in like my whatever's going on. Talk to Dick, see if I can get a land thing. And if I got like an agricultural grant with like 100 acres.
And like his whole family's from like generations, I guess, from Northfield.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So he knows the place.
So yeah. Truly.
I mean, that's just part of. I feel like that's part of my mission.
Yeah.
Is that I have to get a piece of land for everybody. I have to start there and build like an off-grid kingdom and like take away from the Masonic Society with like working and like the government contracts and move more to just stay completely with nature. And you only come into society as your
Yes,
not the
that's
anxious self.
Yeah, it's. I think if we did that more as a society and in more ways, I think people would feel a little bit more secure about themselves and everything around. It's
Okay.
fucked up right now.
All right. So
All right, I'm gonna head
we'll figure it
and
out.
search. Oh gosh, use the bathroom.
All right.
Message me later.
I will.
And I'll message you back.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
I'm not going anywhere else besides the street stuff, but I'll phone you.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to you later.
You too. This is for. We're gonna see if my headphones work. I might go over there. We'll see if a bird moves right to left. If the birds move, and I feel like I should go over and talk to the girls that keep looking at me, I will. I'm just not interested, man. I'm riding the high of hearing my ex tell me she loved me. Even though she admitted to a lie that makes me mad. It is what it is, man. Now let's see, do I like anybody? Not really. And the birds are all going left to right. I don't think it's about seeing that. I think it was about enjoying the music. Let me put this in my bag. Oh, there's a good looking girl that just clocked me. And she posted up. Like, oh my god, look at him. Sorry? Oh, I feel it. Suddenly angry colonizers. Let's fix my hair. Is that fixed? No. Okay, let me see this works. I'm not going to talk to him because I don't want to. But I do want to feel what it's like. I knew consistent. That's how we're going. That's how it's going to look. I'm going to walk past. We're going to walk past. God is a creep. I don't see it. Oh. There is a lot of people. There is. I see them all the time. I don't want to hit you. How you doing? Okay. All right. No, this is my element. Bask in it. How does it feel? Okay. Everybody started playing with their hair. Because I'm an ancient king. And I've mastered spirituality. And I'm just not seeing anybody that catches my attention. It is what it is. I didn't even like people in Burlington. I just have a refined taste now. They have to be as good as the best girl that I like. And if they're not, it's like I don't give a fuck anymore. It's not worth it to me. But do I want to go anywhere? The casiest thing to do was to run around and talk to people. Tilda Swinton. Yeah. I've really grown a lot. I don't have this paranoia that I failed because I didn't go up and talk to people I don't want to speak to. I used to not want to talk to people, but I had to push myself to see them because I could learn something. What up, Marina? I'm good. It's a big music festival on the solstice. I just helped somebody with bad social anxiety that didn't leave her house, that was scared to walk around outside. I sat with her for an hour and we talked about whatever she wanted to talk about and the things she was interested in. I happened to have a lot of insight and I really helped. So overall, it's been a really good day today. I'm excited. I'm seeing a lot of dirty looks. What up, Andrew? Thornthwaite? What do I want to do? I think I want to go sit at the river. problem is when you make these decisions is that you see people that sort of reflect who you don't want to be. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. You checking out the music?
Yep.
It's nice out. I gotta get a hat like yours, man. I'm burning up. I really gotta get one. I'm gonna get sunburned. And now I'm seen as a narcissist, but it's okay. What a nice guy. So I made the choice to not go to the public strictly because I didn't see any bad bitches, even though that's right where the music studio is, and they were all musicians. That's what I'm feeling the most FOMO about. But every time I went, the birds would go left to right. And now I'm here, and all the birds are here with me. Can I get a bird confirmation that I should go back? Left to right, I will walk back, and I will force myself to talk to these strangers I don't want to speak to, because it would be growth. Right to left, I will enjoy myself by the river. Right to left. Thank you, God. And when I ask, it's like something just hit it. Like when you hit a horse before it runs in the race. It looks like the birds do get hit and try to get the right to left. Something goes and shocks it a little bit to scare it in the right direction. Ugh. And I want to go hang out here. Okay. When I got into the forest, the music in my head started playing again. So usually it's hard to stay grounded because some force is always pushing me higher into my own daydreams. And when I got out and got into the forest, immediately it started playing. My loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe. Give me a sign. These are noise canceling headphones. I could not hear how I sound. This girl was my favorite song. Oh gosh. It used to be Boys of Summer. Boys of Summer by Don Henley. Desperado. Take It Easy. Pretty much every song off the Eagles' greatest hits. Conversations with My Wife by John Bellion. Hand of God by John Bellion. I really like Zach Bryan's album lately. I really like Noah Kahan's album lately. Other than that, there's not really any song that speaks to me. I just like one thing about it, which is mostly I like that it's a little bit closer to the songs I make in my head. Cool, there's nobody here. Happy summer solstice, everybody. How is everybody's summer solstice? Has it been a lot of crossed wires uncrossed themselves for me today? I just heard John Michael in my head. I heard his spirit just talk to me. And he said, "You're really all grown up now." And this was huge for me. Today was a huge test. The cut that always bleeds. I don't know who Conan is. The cut that always bleeds. I will listen to it. I'm bored now. When there was the things going on over there, and I was getting a lot of attention. Okay. Okay. I need rest. I'll go for a few minutes and then I'm going to sit with myself and God. And I'll probably think about today and I'll realize that there was a much better way of functioning, but I was traumatized and afraid to focus, to create better. It's tough. I'd say like the conversation I had with the girl today was like a good 75%. There were just some parts that she didn't understand about me. Like I got into a group for people in the DCF system. And after the group got out, all of us would hang out at my apartment because nobody had anywhere else to go. One of the girls was 15. And she was autistic. She was really funny, but I wasn't sexually attracted to her or anything. But I definitely wanted to be everybody's friend. So I wrote on my whiteboard once a bunch of names of all the people because back then it was like chaotic and overwhelming. And I felt like I had to like take my thoughts and put them on paper to sort them out because I was handling like this big emotional energy of people's lives. So I had like John Michael, this person, and then I had her name there. So my ex, I guess that really got to her. And she thought that I was trying to mess around with an underage girl. So she said that that was the reason that she started being more invested in seeing other people. There was a time where I'd say like our relationship started in the spring, in the fall, she got a job in Greenfield working at a pizza place. And there were tons of guys that were our age that were in college and taking care of themselves. And every time she would go there, I just had this sick feeling that she was going to flirt with everybody. And then I started getting notifications on my phone. Like she would leave, and then 3 seconds later, a bing, notification. And it's some guy in Florida, like some buff guy with like tattoos and a chain on South Beach saying that all girls are the same, all girls, they're not invested in you, they have a work boyfriend, they have all their other options, and they're always playing the field, and they're acting much more the way you want them to act towards you to other people, and then they're coming back and giving you nothing because they see you as like a safety net. So she would come back and tell me about all these stories about all the guys that she works with. And I just had this horrible feeling, and it made me just like constant rumination about it, made me just give up on her. Like officially. I still loved her, but it was just hard. And I'm an intuitive empath. I'm like a super psychic. I can literally see what's going on in the other realms. so I could see the connection she was building. And I was telling myself that I didn't, because that would be crazy. So I had to weasel it out of her, because she told me she didn't sleep with anybody while we were seeing each other all the time. But she would go off with guys. She'd get in guys' cars and go away. She'd tell me she went to guys' houses. She would bring me to guys' houses and leave me in the car. Once that I can remember. And she came clean and told me that she would make out with one of the guys. But she said kiss, but I could see floating above her head that it was more than that. And it was like, I talked to her for an hour, and at the end of the hour, she finally told me, you have to like pry secrets out of her. And that's just not what I want. I don't want that. But YouTube is telling me they're all like that. Any girl that I date is going to be like that. And that's the red pill. Other than that, I was really impressed by her. It definitely seems like if we're not soulmates or twin flames, we're like the same way that this conversation I had with that woman today, when she was talking about all the people she knew that were soulmates. She talked about the same similarities she saw in the people that she says are meant to be together. We have the same similarities. Our name starts with the same letter. So together that's 33. And before I knew about the 33 life path, we wanted to get a tattoo that was C cubed instead of C squared. So we already knew that that was big for us. But she says that the guy she's with has a ring. They've been dating for like 5 months. So after I got off the phone with her, I got the same YouTube notification that I used to get. And I watched the video, and it was a couple that looked a lot like them getting engaged. And other people that I saw recently that were in her circle, when I went to the funeral, I met a guy that they used to have like a flirtatious thing going on with them, that I don't know how far it went. She said that he did something bad to her that made her stop liking him. But he showed up with a girl that looks kind of like him, and I thought it was her. And they were talking about how him and that girl were getting engaged. So I see that. I see the movies. I see all the art. Every single okay, left to right butterfly. Left to right butterfly folk today. What do you want? What do you want? I'm drained. I spoke. Hello, son. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. I'm here. Should I break up this woman's engagement and get back with her? There was a bird on the right. I need a butterfly. This is a big decision. Please give me something flying in front of my face. Please. It's important to me. It's important to me. Just one bird, please. Please. Just one. It's always that when I walk away, or if I turn the live stream off, then there's like an eagle that goes right in front of me. I don't know, but if we know anything about Casey, It's that as long as he keeps going, he doesn't lose. Eventually things work themselves out how they're supposed to. When I would stop moving and I would freeze, then the bad things would start happening. But when I get up and go do things, I'm in motion. Things tend to work themselves out. One more. Patience, boundaries, letting go. They're saying no. See, butterfly right there. No. Now watch. Do I get back with her? Should I get back with her? So right in front of that butterfly that went in a straight line directly in front of my face, that did go left to right, but then the butterfly moved a little bit to the right, and then 3 big horseflies flew left to right in the straight line in the same line of sight. To say that although that butterfly did change direction, the rest of nature reinforced that no to make sure that I knew what was going on. Unless the bugs are evil and they're trying to hinder my hope. But yeah. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Give me a sign. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Hit me, baby, one more time. Passion. Hit me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton. Look at these leaves. Who put those leaves there? Was it Tilda Swinton? Tilda. I heard Tilda's like an elite bloodline. That keeps coming into my head lately. Tilda Swinton is an elite bloodline. What do you want, bird? It sounded like a cat. I'm getting cat called. I'm pacing the time between when I smoke my cigarette. My mom texted me and says, "Get help. Please get help. Please." And I'm like, I just had a great day. I'm so excited for things. Stop it. You get some help. Give me, baby, one more time. Let me know if you guys can hear, if you could hear that whole conversation. The music was loud. It was a really impactful conversation. I'm charging my phone, so you're getting the down here. I felt like that was big and enjoyable for people. That was a really cool conversation with somebody in a place where she doesn't talk to anybody. I literally brought a cancer out of her shell live on camera. And I said things that woke her up and light her up. And then the issues that I was struggling with in my head, in the background noise, she suddenly interjected and changed the topic of conversation to empathize what I needed to hear, that allowed me to make a change instead of rumination. Sort of like I'm stuck in a thought loop and she put in the thing that unlocked it for me. Like a reflection of myself. Which was, instead of feeling like I'm a horrible piece of shit and my life is ruined because I didn't go up and talk to strangers, I looked over and realized I don't really want to talk to anybody. And then all the birds started singing. The environment went right to left. So I left. And the only problem at that level of the simulation is that when those things are in place and you can see the orchestration for what it really is, the decisions you make have like heavy consequences. Like I left all those people having a fun time and I walked to a place where I could sit alone and I saw someone that looked just like my dad, just like me. It looked like me when I'm old. It looked a lot like how I'm going to look when I'm old. And I saw him sitting there alone outside of a closed music venue by himself, just staring at the ground instead of going up to those musicians and saying hi and networking and getting numbers and singing. So how about, just for me, all I need is one. I know that you're responding to me more than you're encouraging. So I know when I decide things, they tend to go more in my favor. But if everything watching and the divine and the stuff that I can't see, if it's God, if I'm supposed to, okay, I got a bunch of left to right over here. If I'm supposed to go back and go network at that festival, just one bird right to left is all I need. Flying. I know you can do it. You do it all day, every day. Can you give me just one? I'll even put the phone down and I'll tell you what it's like. Just one. I hold the manifestation in my head and I ask for confirmation. Should I go, say hi to everybody, network? Should I go to see what happens? Nothing. Should I relax here, rest, and walk back up with my new headphones? One bird, please. Indecision really diminishes the light. Hit me, baby, one more time. That girl was at a Renaissance fair today, and she's going back tomorrow. Should I go to the Ren Fair? There's no bus. Is that Jesus? Hello? Are there any ticks on the ground? No. Ugh. I have a headache from all the cigarettes. But my mommy sent me enough for phone service. And I did get offered it. Finally, I got offered a job. There was a building that I wanted to work at for a long time that was closed, that is now reopening. They reopened today. So I'm excited about that. Look, I'm picking at the ground. Just like 10 years ago. We're friends now. We're having soft tacos later. You fucking bitch. This is a marching band. Going boom, 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 boom. Should we go see the marching band? I just want to chill. I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys can see that conversation. Nobody will get back to this place. Nobody's going to watch it the whole way through. But I hope that I'm going to listen to it in my headphones. If I like that content, I'll go out tomorrow. If I don't need rest. And I'll do it. Either way, other than some angry reptilian energies, I feel pretty good about myself. Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton.